my, my. Man, that is awful, isn't it? That's a tragedy, man. Tragedy does strike in this world, you know. Well, hello friends, Coach Bob with you, and today we are going to be talking about a few things, some of a serious nature and some of a not so serious nature. As with the most things in life, I think that's how things play out, isn't it? Oh yeah, warm these tires up and start burning through some turns. I love it. You know, as I was pulling out of the neighborhood, you saw my neighbor's house with the blue tarp. You know, they had a house fire here recently, and it's really a tragedy that happened. And these are wonderful people. I want to tell you, things happen in our lives that we don't have control over, and that was one of the things that did happen. You know, not that long ago, we had some bad weather come through, and I had a tree in my front yard that had been split in half. It was a Bradford pear. And years ago, I was the young guy in the neighborhood. I was the guy that went around and helped all the older guys, and you know, I'd see them out there swinging an axe, sweating, you know. They swing the axe 3 times and they have to change their shirt. Well, I have become that older guy apparently. And this neighbor across the street, man, his name's Brian, and the guy right beside him, his name is Brett. Both of these guys saw me struggle, and they got out there with a big old bulldozer and a chainsaw and spent an entire day taking care of this for me. If I can find the video of them doing that, I'll show it to you. I think you'll find it interesting. Ooh, I better get some gas. This thing going, I'm gonna run out of gas. Ah. Let's turn this puppy around. We've been doing a lot of riding around, and as you know, my son's been riding the Spyder some, so he's not as aware of these things as the old geezer is. I guess us old people do have a purpose, don't we? We put gas in stuff. Nice. So these guys took time out of their busy day to help me, and I was so greatly appreciative. I mean, just unbelievable that they could do so much work in such a short period of time. I mean, what took them an afternoon really would have taken me a week, and it's quite humbling to experience that. It really felt good too to have all these neighbors come over and help me. Man, I was very, very flattered. And a week later, as I was talking to one of my elderly neighbors, he was telling me how he remembered, and I had completely forgotten about this. He had fallen in his front yard years ago, and I somehow picked him up. I don't know how, because he's a big dude and I'm really not that strong. And he was like, "You were an angel, man. You're an angel." And to have a neighbor like you makes all the difference in the world. You know, that's how I feel about my neighbors across the street and the things that they've gone through. So as people, as human beings, I just wanted to just share a little bit about that. You know, that there are good people out there suffering that are our friends, and we get so busy and caught up in life. Don't forget to take the time to extend a kind hand to them and help them. It makes a difference, and they remember it literally decades later. I will remember these guys working in my yard for decades, probably the rest of my life, until my mind starts to fail me. I will remember it for sure. We were afforded the privilege of giving our neighbors some clothes and Coach Vic, because she couldn't help with some of the cleanup, ordered pizza for the cleanup crew, which was all neighbors coming together and working for a day or two until the adjusters could get out there and start doing their stuff. So it's just a beautiful thing to see all of this happening and see all of the things everybody pulling together at a terrible time for some wonderful people. So Another thing that happened recently and that I'm a little up in arms about is I had a good friend of mine who may or may not, and for those of you in the game will know exactly what I'm talking about. He may or may not have a devastating diagnosis. You know that when they find something and they start scanning this and scanning that, it takes time to go from this scan to that biopsy to this surgery to that, and that's where he is. And it's a guy that I've become friends with here recently, and I'm not going to mention his name due to privacy, but he's a wonderful man, and I would just appreciate it if you would keep him in your thoughts and prayers, that God would just take care of him, because he is a wonderful dude, and I hope the best for him. And last night, man, all I could do was think about all of the tragedy that we've been through in our life, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So we're definitely, if you're watching this video, my friend, we're praying for you, and you know what I said yesterday, and I mean it. So there you go. I'll leave it at that. So Spyder riders, you guys, I want to tell you, I made a video about how we're a cut above. I'll post that card right up here. How Spyder riders march to the beat of a different drummer, of why we ride, and sometimes we've sacrificed the machine that we want to ride, and we ride this awkward three-wheeler, and we end up loving this awkward three-wheeler too, by the way, for those wondering and are in the market for a CanAm Spyder. I've got a ton of videos. You can look at my CanAm videos where this machine, I've fallen in love with it, and it is a wonderful machine that Coach Vic and I do a lot of traveling on. Coach Vic is my beautiful wife, for those who are not normal subscribers, and you can check those videos out where we cross the country and on this machine. But Spyder riders are an unselfish group, and I love meeting you guys and the emails and the encouragement. I can't tell you the number of encouraging emails that I get a week, actually a day, per day, on the Spyder, from wonderful people sharing their stories and just thoughts and appreciation and thanks and all that stuff. Spyder people are unselfish people, and that's a really cool thing. You know, it's funny, you know, CanAm, I'm going to talk a little bit about them here in the next few minutes, about being an outlier. You know, their new campaign, and I want to tell you, you are outliers. You're outliers because you're wonderful people who really care, who do extend a hand of kindness in a world that says you can't be kind and be cool at the same time, and you do prove them wrong. We are outliers in that very sense of the word. Man, it is a beautiful day. It's nice and cool. It's about 50 degrees outside, probably high 40s, low 50s. And let's get a little gas in this thing, and then we'll talk about my next topic, which is BRP, the Ambassador Program. Oh, I've gotten 100 emails asking me about the BRP Ambassador Program, and that information is coming up as soon as we get some gas in this wonderful, crazy, cuckoo riding machine. All right, you are going to find this very interesting. Coach Vic found it a little too interesting. Let's gas her up. All right, so let's talk turkey, y'all. CanAm Ambassador Program. All right. So here's the question I have been asked multiple times. By the way, gas is ridiculously expensive. It cost me $20 to fill this thing up. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. All right. But Ambassador Program, let's talk about it. First off, we had a lot of folks sending us emails going, hey man, we're seeing a lot of CanAm, mainly Rikers and you know, that sort of thing. There were some there were obviously some RT people in there as well, that had made announcements that BRP had contacted them and invited them to be an ambassador to CanAm. and they graciously accepted, and they were going to be sent free stuff and that sort of thing. Pretty cool actually, you know. Anyway, we did not get one of those calls. Coach Vic made me this t-shirt right here. That's right, you know, paraphrasing, but I sold 100 CanAm Spyders and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. We reached out to BRP for a you know, comment on this, because, you know, we're on their People of the Open Road webpage and our channel is growing. And you know, I reached out to the young lady that had been our point of contact for People of the Open Road, and she said, you know, look, Coach, I'm not the one who does that. I will forward this information to that person. And I said, okay, that's great. And I said, because I will be addressing it on the channel here real soon. I'd really like to kind of know where BRP stands and what they want to do, where we are, and if there is a possibility of us being ambassadors. Not that we're owed anything, because we are not. We'll talk about that in a minute too. And so needless to say, I don't know if the email was forwarded or not. I have never heard another word. That was a month ago. I don't really like that kind of stuff, not because I'm jilted feeling, because I'm not. I just like when people tell me they're going to do something, or that they're going to reach back out to me, that they would actually do it. So, you know, for whatever that's worth, that's what it is. But I do want to tell you, Coach Vic, now, I do watch YouTube, but I'm so busy creating for YouTube, I don't get to watch as much as I want to. I do have a couple of folks that I subscribe to. I've shared them before. The Macendon Flyer, I watch him religiously. I really like the guy. Of course, I subscribe to MotoGP and a lot of that sort of thing, and so that's pretty much mostly what I watch, is motorcycle related stuff. And I do a lot of research on BRP, you know, the corporate structure, new models, things like that. And so, you know, I'm always digging deep on the internet. When I go on there, it's normally with a mission or a purpose. So I'll be honest with you, I had not even heard anything about the ambassador program. Didn't even register, wasn't even on my radar, so to speak. And Coach Vic, I was shaving one morning, and she comes in there and she goes, Coach. Actually, she don't call me Coach, she just calls me Bob. Thank you. A nice fellow waving me by, because he knows it's hard to see. And she goes, Bob, I want to tell you something, but I don't want you to get mad. I don't want you to lose sleep over it like I am. So Coach Vic had already been cooking in this, apparently, and she got her feelings hurt, man. She was a little perturbed, we shall say. And she goes, Coach, there are people with like 300 subscribers, and they're becoming ambassadors and getting free things from BRP, and we're not. My response was, does that surprise you? And she was shocked that I would even say that, and she was like, yes, it does. It doesn't surprise me, folks. It doesn't. Look, here's the reality. Last year, I've got emails to prove that our channel has sold in excess of 100 brand new CanAm Spyders. People who were not even in the market for a Spyder, and they saw the channel and they looked interesting, they went and rode, or people that were injured didn't think they would ride again, and they had been considering it, and they watched our videos and they were convinced to buy one, and they went out and bought them without test riding them, which is really cool. And when I say over 100, I mean probably more in the tune of 115 to 120, in that general area. I quit counting because Vic was curious, and I said, I'll just count to a certain extent. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it really doesn't matter, you know. So she sat down with a calculator and she goes, well, if those things are 25,000 a piece, and I said, well, you know, not every one of them are. I said, maybe average 22. She goes, that's $2.2 million. So we apparently sold $2.2 million worth of CanAm Spyders last year. And folks, let me tell you, that's free advertising for BRP, and that's a sound business decision right there. They don't owe me a thing. They don't owe me a t-shirt. They don't owe me a ball cap. They don't owe me nothing. I ride this machine because I like it, not because I have a relationship with BRP or CanAm or whatever. The dealerships that I've worked with have treated me kindly. They've treated me nicely and professionally. Dead animal there. And it's because of those things that I work with them and deal with them. The shortcomings of the CanAm, I've not been slack in pointing those things out. Whether it was the braking, whether it was acceleration, handling, recalls, fires, all of the things that are clear and readily available in the history of CanAm, I have not been slack about pointing those things out in videos. I've also not been slack in pointing out that I do believe in the CanAm Spyder product. I think it's a fine, exceptional product, and I don't think that BRP is a bad company, and I'm not mad at them. Coach Vic, on the other hand, all I can tell you is I wouldn't have wanted to be one of them BRP executives sitting in a room with her, man. I've seen her upset, you know, once or twice. A beautiful lake over there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll stand up. Isn't that nice? It was never my fault when she was mad. Of course, you know how it is. But when she gets mad, it's worth the price of admission. So yes, we sold over $2 million worth of BRP product last year, and we are very, very proud of that too, by the way, because there are a lot of wonderful people out there that are experiencing life to a greater level of fulfillment than they would have been otherwise. And I made a video about the CanAm Spyder a long time ago where I had said that CanAm is not there to make you have fun. They're not there to appease you or to appease me. They are there to put a turkey in their pot. And if they can make a couple of $1 million off of a channel that they are getting absolutely free advertisement out of, that's a sound business decision. I'm just going to tell you. Would it be nice? Would I be flattered if they asked me? Sure, it would. But am I jilted or upset in any way? Does it make me not like the person I talk to on the phone? Of course not. You know, that kind of stuff. It just, I don't even think about that stuff. But because we got so many emails asking us, I figured I would address it all at one time. And I see the humor in it, but I'm going to tell you also, we're not the demographic that they're shooting for. They're not shooting for the old 60-year-old, you know, married couple, the boring people. They're shooting for the outliers, the ones with the, you can have your chrome and wear your cut, you know, and we're going to be an outlier. I'm not a rebel. My rebel days are at my 6 o'clock position by at least 2 decades, maybe longer. Who's going to say? But I want to tell you, I appreciate what you do for this channel. You make this channel, and you make this experience wonderful. So there you have it, the answer to the $64,000 question. Coach, are you an ambassador? No, I am an ain't-bassador. And what I mean by that, they go, are you going to go for a ride? I am. Or are you going to go for a ride? I ain't. I'm not an ambassador. I'm an ain't-bassador. Ain't-bassador bomb. All right, man. I'm just going to, it turns up. Nice. That dude was in my lane, wasn't he? We got to watch out for that. Come around one of these blind turns in your lane, ruin your whole day. Half your day tomorrow. Alright, well, I want to tell you, I hope you're enjoying your day and your ride as much as I am. You're going to be hard pressed to do so, though, because I am having a ball. So remember, my fellow Can-Am friends, be sure and take care of each other, because that's what we're here to do. And see, that ties back into the ain't-bassador thing. I don't need to be appreciated by them. The amount of appreciation that I get from this channel is more than I ever thought I would get, and certainly way more than I deserve. All right, So I want you to do me a favor, go out this week, buy that motorcycle of your dreams. Yes, a Can-Am Spyder could be that, if that's what you want. And eat right, take care of yourself. Remember, if you're not having fun, you are most definitely doing it wrong. Now you go seize the day, and I'll see you on the road real soon. But I'm gonna eat up some turns for right now and just have a ball, because it's my Saturday. Oh, yeah.